Hi guys, welcome to Reality React channel. In this channel, we watch reality TV shows to recap, review, and for the fun of it. And today, I'll be recapping Uthando nesthembu, season 8, episode 28. So it's still part of the trip, and they show us MaKhwela and MaKhwela having breakfast, and MaKhwela says that she doesn't eat soft eggs. She wants her eggs well done. MaKhwela took a liberty to ask the hotel people to prepare lunch by her room in the balcony, and she is having breakfast while MaKhwela is complaining about the fact that her eggs are soft and she doesn't like them, and she suggests that MaKhwela must eat softer eggs because they have tendencies of boosting a fertility in a way. That's what she basically said, that she could have more kids. And I don't know where MaKhwela got that from, because I wonder if it's actually true, but you never know. Maybe she used that strategy to fall pregnant with her 3 kids, and the rest of maybe even her family members, they use that strategy. We don't know. But MaKhwela says in her case, it was not that. She just, I think she just fell pregnant. And in today's episode, the pregnancy is showing. Maybe even the other time she's showing, but MaKhwela, so because MaKhwela is not a slender woman, she's like mid-size by how she looks. So in the previous episode, the pregnancy was not showing, but because of the outfit she's wearing, it is showing. And this makes me wonder if that scene about her asking MaKhwela about Mseleku being an ini and all of that was not done this year to address the rumors of him being an ini, which seems to be true. But anyway, so as they're eating, MaKhwela calls Mseleku, and she asks him, "Have you called MaKhwela?" And he's like, "I didn't know that I could call her when she's with you. I needed permission." And I'm like, they don't sleep in the same room. This is the thing with Mseleku, right? Remember, maybe it's the illness, because also she's saying that Mseleku is still recovering, which is true, but I don't know, you are recovering, you're taking a 5th wife. Okay, you've already made the 5th wife pregnant, so you still continue with the marrying of the 5th wife, because I think Mseleku believes in marrying someone when you make them pregnant. So remember, he was trying to force his son, Mpumelelo, to marry his baby mamas, because he believes kids must grow up with both parents in the same house. So I think he used the same strategy with MaKhwela. And then as they are talking, and then she says, in her diary session, she says, Mseleku did not call her mama. But do you remember the other time he called MaKhwela mommy? This time he didn't call her mama as well. But MaKhwela is noticing this. And I'm like, girl, you're going to notice a lot of things. When men marries you, they change, they show their other colors that you are not aware of. And this is part of it. And sadly for her, it's with an older man. So he's used to that behavior of not calling and then of not communicating, because that's his strategy. Even Mayen was complaining about that the other time, that they have not spoken since the incident. So those type of things, she must just get used to it. So, and then she moves right along instead of complaining about the fact that he's not calling her mama and he has not called her since whenever date that he has not spoken to her. And then they talk like, I don't know, man. So I feel like MaCele's idea of nesthembu is warped. Like, I don't know, it's not right, because now she's busy talking about who is important. And I know she's joking, but I'm just like, underneath that joke, the same way that I'm not your friend thing was just hoid in there, and then MaKhwela did not even react to it. I didn't see, her face was blank. Like, that's the thing with MaKhwela, right? You can easily read her with things that affect her, but sometimes you can't. Like, her face is just, I'm sure she's just like, I know, like, she can't be friends with an older woman. Like, it doesn't make sense. As much as she's married to an older man, being friends with an older woman that your husband is married to is not practical. And then she complained. Now she explains the "I'm not your friend" because she had asked MaKhwela that they should go out, and MaKhwela was saying that she's getting lazier by the day because of the pregnancy, and even before the pregnancy, she was not an out person. Remember, MaKhwela is an only child of her parents, so I think that plays a role. And then even that mama comment is not calling me mama. It's just like, because you're an only child, you want everything to revolve around you. When someone is recovering, you are saying things like, I want to unsubscribe from taking care of them because it's not part of your culture, or it's not part of your character. I can put it like that. And then she says that she doesn't say, I wanted the what are they called, the producers, to ask her, what do you make of that statement? I'm not your friend, because they asked. I think they asked MaCele that what do you mean? And then she explained that thing of saying when you connect with the sister wives, people assume you are friends. She wants MaKhwela to never count her as one of her friends. She took MaKhwela out. Why are you taking a sister wife out and then to tell them in their face that you are not their friends, and then you go further into saying that she's important. I think maybe that was a way of covering up that statement, to say that she's important and people have been waiting for her and stuff like that, and things are on standstill. I'm like, what is on standstill? And then she says you are important, and then she goes further to say that I'm important because Ngimkhulu, because she came first. She knows more than the other wives know, which include MaKhwela. I don't know why she doesn't say I know more than Nina Nonke, instead of saying she knows more than the other wives. She must include her, because what do you mean that? Like, and then she's also saying that she gets pressure from, I don't know, from what? I actually wonder if you are in Istanbul, you wonder your mind runs wild around who's important, who is not important. Like, why? Because if she's thinking I am important because ngifike kuqala and all of that, and I know better than everyone else, what does she thinks of Mayeni? Is she important? What does she think of MaKhumalo and MaNgwabe? Are they also important? Like, are they also cool? Like, hi, this man cool. No, man. But anyway, they end up saying that they will go out and stuff like that, because I guess that they have to, because it's part of the trip, even if MaKhwela is tired. But one thing we found out is that, and that was the thing as well, I was wondering, why do they keep saying that Mseleku can't go to get the scans? Is it because of the situation that they're in? When you are sick, you can't go next to a pregnant woman. You can't go to a gynecologist. I understand maybe you can't go into the ward when they're giving birth because of various reasons. Maybe, I don't know, like your illness around babies and stuff like that. And yeah, those type of things. But I'm wondering, why can't he go to the scan? Because she's not giving birth there, the baby is not going to come out. Nothing is going to happen. She's just consulting. I'm trying to see, because I understood the giving birth, but the scans, what's the reason behind that? Because what situation is making it impossible for this guy to go and be there for his wife? This does not make sense. In the next scene, we see Musa and his boys going fishing, and the guy explains that as much as there's fish there, it's because it's winter. They are likely not gonna catch anything, and I feel like they are misunderstanding what fishing is, especially if they're fishing on a pond, because it's about bonding with his sons, and I think that's why they wanted to do it, and so that Mseleku could address Mpumelelo, because he even said that they are going fishing, but he would like to talk to Mpumelelo about the thing he did the previous day when he intercepted the conversation when he was trying to address Usne, and the fact that Usne talked on the podcast about disliking MaNgwabe and MaKhumalo and only liking MaCele and Umayan who acts like her parents. So that's part of the reasons why she dislikes the other ones, because they act like they are not parenting her. They're not like her mothers. And, they're almost, except for MaNgwabe, they're almost similar in age. So in the same age range. So maybe with MaKhumalo, so maybe it's just difficult to parent a person like that, because it's like it's like a sister instead of a motherly type of love. But anyway, when they finally sit down and talk with Mpumelelo says that he will resolve the issue between him and his dad. And he also says that his dad is alright. I think he wanted to say his dad is not, because he says he's stubborn, and he thinks that's a good thing to be stubborn, hey? Like, and I'm just like, why would you think being stubborn is a good quality? Because Mseleku, he could have said that his dad is more understanding, and instead he just says it's alright because he wanted to say his dad is probably weak. And I'm just like, at least he said it in the direct session, not in that live in front of Mseleku, which is, I guess a good thing. But anyway, he says that he will resolve the issue with Usne, and Mseleku could let us know that it will be better if Mpumelelo addresses this issue with Usne, because Usne listens to Mpumelelo more than he listens to her. I'm like, is this the same Usne we saw on Izingane nesthembu, where she called them all pretentious because she thinks by a pretender? And I'm just like, is this, maybe they have a different off-screen relationship with Mpumelelo, and I wonder if he gives this guy this boy a chance to resolve this. How will he resolve it? Because he's even saying that when Usne had a problem with him, where she called him like etoys, and then maybe he went to resolve it, and there was nothing she could have said differently. And I'm just like, so how do you think Mpumelelo, who's your son, is going to resolve this? Like, how are they going to sit down and actually go and say the reason why I don't like MaKhumalo and MaNgwabe is because they once did this, and it's because their kids treat me like this, and their mothers don't address it. They don't reprimand these children, and they don't see me as an elder sister, like those type of things. How are they going to, how is Mpumelelo, how does he think that Mpumelelo has that range in thoughts, like in problem solving? Like, how is he going to resolve this? I don't see it. And also Mpumelelo could see that Mseleku is sometimes a producer, because he says that the reason why Mseleku raised that thing, it was not because he wanted to resolve that issue. It was because he wanted to create a storyline. I'm like, maybe Mpumelelo has a good brain in his head, because he can see some things that his dad acts like, oh, there's something special happening, while he knows that the reason why he asks some of the things or he does some things is because he wants to get people to react and have emotions about things. So that's part of the reasons why they would do that. I'm just trying to see just beyond. I want to sit down and find out if you can resolve the issue between, or why you tried to sway the conversation from Usne to you, and also around the issue of Mpumelelo being interrogated by his mothers, and specifically Mayen, who interrogated him about number 5 and all of that, and him knowing about it more than like him being the one that knows about number 5 compared to the wives and stuff like that, and his mother being the one that interrogated him about it. He says that he couldn't say in front of the kids that his mother was wrong. So he thinks that his mother was wrong for interrogating Mpumelelo, and then he's telling Mpumelelo this. How does that build a relationship between mother and son? And how does that make him see his mother in a good light, in a better light. If I don't know how to put it, but like, how would he see his mother going forward? Is he going to think, oh, my mother was wrong for interrogating me? The person that she should have interrogated was my dad, which is right. But also at the same time, I don't think it's right to tell your son that, yeah, your mother was wrong. Because that's basically what he is doing. And what is the outcome of that? Does he expect Mpumelelo to go back to Mayen and say, yeah, Ubaba uthi bewurong to interrogate me. You were supposed to ask him, not me. Hayibo. He's also bringing the issue of Usne to Mpumelelo. I don't know if he expects. That's why I'm asking, what is the outcome of this? Does he expect this boy to go to Usne and say, what is your problem? Can you please participate in the trip? What is the issue? I know that the kids get along, like all of them, it seems. But I wonder if he expects this boy to go to his sister and be like, can you please participate in this group setting? Can you please be part of the group? Can you please do the things that we are doing? Can you please forgive these mothers and treat them the same way that... And I wonder why he thinks that MaKhwela did not address this. Because MaKhwela did. But the problem that she did was to say to Usne, you don't have to participate in the group setting. Just make the whole trip sour, basically, because she's not coming to the trip. Actually, MaKhwela, man, no, man. She should have told Usne, respect your mothers and also go to the trip because I'm forcing you to go, and don't compare yourself to me, which is what she did when she compared ubukhulu bakhe between MaKhwela and herself. And I'm just like... these things. But I'm just wondering, what is the outcome? Is she going to go? Because we saw on the clip, it seems like Usne does not participate in the group setting because her mother told her, don't participate. Hi. So, Mseleku finish fishing with his sons, and then the whole family goes to play games, and there's Team Maine, Team MaNgwabe, Team MaKhumalo. And all of them, I think they are not playing with their kids, right? All of them are not playing with their kids. They are biological moms. They are mothers of these kids, but they are not playing with their mothers. But Team MaKhumalo is more competitive, and I think they are the ones that won in total on the scoreboard. Actually, I might have gotten that wrong. I was not keeping the score, but they won most of the stuff that they were doing. They were doing, what are they called? They were doing a lot of games, man. Throwing of the hula hoop, cycle sand, racing, and doing all of those things. It looked like they were having fun, and all of them said that if we are not focusing on the polygamous relationship and all of these things, they seem to be having fun, and even the wives were participating. Even MaNgwabe is giving Mseleku the last trip that she had fun in. She's even dancing at one point when they win one of the things of the throwing of the hula hoop. That's one thing that her team scored, and then she seemed much happier. And one thing that I can say is Team MaKhumalo is very much competitive. At one point, if they lost a point, Mnene was crying and MaKhumalo had to cheer him on and stuff like that. And I think they were having a good time, Shame. Like, I wonder how long they played those games, because it looked like they had fun, even though Usne decided not to play until they played the tug of war thing, and then she tried to participate, but she said that besides not feeling well, she is just not in the mood to play these games. And remember, she doesn't like the people there now, and also it was not the mothers had to pick the person, even though MaKhumalo had picked her to play with her, to be part of her team. And I wonder if MaKhumalo is not bothered by this girl or not liking her, or she just says it's the game. What it can't hurt for her to be part of my team, like those type of feelings, like man. And also, she knows Usni, that Usni is the way she is, and all of those things. And as much as she didn't reprimand her child the previous night, and she just feels like let me just, because no one is going to pick her, because Mayan had refused to pick people, but she ended up having to pick people, and Umpumelelo was not part of the game. So that's why I was wondering, at what point is he going to talk to this guy, to his sister, to say, hey sister, this thing is not acceptable. You can't go onto the podcast and talk about how you dislike who and who and who, and say the things that you say. And this conversation, I'm sure it will be boring unless if they bring a different angle to it, because we've had it. Mseleku talked to her, MaKhwela talked to her, and it seems like they not getting through her. Maybe MaKhumalo should be the one that addresses this, because maybe she might address it differently. I don't know. I don't know if her resolution, or Mayeni should be the one that addresses this, because as much as they say that she doesn't have a conversation, she's not talking to MaKhumalo. She could, like, I feel like she's not going to say, you know what, just act anyhow you want on the trip. I'm sure she was gonna put it differently, to say, you know what, as much as you do not like them, respect them as your mothers, that the father decided for you, and also participate in the thing. Maybe she was gonna address it differently. I know that MaKhwela is more of a mother to Usni than the rest of the mothers, because she partly raised her and forced her to be part of her relationship type of thing, so she could do the thing with her. In the next episode, it shows that Usne is going to be judging MaNgwabe, saying that MaNgwabe goes, when everyone is going to the right, you just decide to take the left turn.